Good evening. This is Carla from Rehan, Allahwala's World of Connections. And today I have the honor of interviewing a film developer. He has been trained at American University in Washington, D.C., Sardar Quraysh. I hope I said it correctly. He can correct me in a moment. And I am really excited to speak with him and find out about his journey as a film producer. And also, he and his wife have a Animal Sanctuary outside of Washington, D.C. And I'm anxious to learn a little about that also. Having said that, I want to remind you, like always, all my shows are sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. Sardar, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me on your program. And my name is Sardar Quraysh. Basically, I'm a painter. And most of my life, I did fine art paintings. But on the side, I was making documentaries and TV commercials and doing music videos as well. But when I moved to Washington, D.C., America, first I started a television show for a while. And I was a producer and director of that show. It was an Urdu television program on South Asian community. And after that, I was more involved in graphic design. And recently, I started some documentaries and a YouTube channel. And also, I'm working on my next painting series as well.
What are your paintings about?
This is so far my most elaborate work. I did previously different painting series on different topics, and mostly they were about nature, and they were about cityscapes. But this one is purely about social issues, especially we are having in Southeast Asia. And I started working on this series about 3-4 years ago. And I'm trying to complete 20 large-scale paintings. And every painting has a different social issues. And so far, I have completed about 9 paintings. And still, I have to complete 10 or 11 paintings.
Do you have any of your paintings nearby?
Unfortunately, I am in my editing studio.
Okay.
And I do have paintings, and I love to show you some other time. They are, I converted my garage into my painting studio. That's where I paint, because their scale is quite big. They are like 8 feet by 5 feet.
Wow. And what are they? Do they have people in them? Are they portraits, or are they
Yes.
landscapes, or a combination of everything?
Actually, they are more like figurative. There are some backdrops, landscape, but mostly they are figurative work. The story I'm trying to tell is related to the people. And for that the reason it's more like a portraiture and figurative work.
Wow. And how long have you been painting?
Well, I start painting right from out of my art academy. It was like, it's been long, maybe 30 years ago or something.
Wow. Now, when you came to the United States, did you come to learn filmmaking or did you come for another reason initially?
Mostly it was personal development. I was not planning to go to college over here, but I was trying to shift my business from Pakistan to over here, which I did. And it was okay for a while. Then there was some problem, and I lost quite a bit of money along that. Then I went back to university for filmmaking. Then again, I started my own business, and now things are pretty good.
What kind of business did you originally bring to the United States?
Initially, I started a television show on a local TV here in Washington, D.C.
Oh, and can you tell us a little about it?
Yeah. What I was trying to do at that point, I was trying to tell the story of South Asians, how they are living over here, and what are their lives on day-to-day basis, and what's their story.
So, was it a series that you were doing in the United States, or?
It was like one episode per person, and or sometime it's there if there is some activity in the community, some event, I used to cover that as well. There's a lot of poetry events happened during that time. I regarded those and broadcast those events as well.
And how long did you do this television series?
That was for 1 year.
Oh, and then you went to American University, or?
That's right, yeah.
And I'm assuming you studied filmmaking, but what area of filmmaking did you focus on?
My focus was on those music videos productions.
Oh, so are you still doing music videos, or what are you doing now?
Sometimes I do on and off basis, but mostly it's quite hard to get a mainstream business. And I had some problem in that area, but I did some music videos for Pakistani community. And there was a couple of singers. I made videos for them, and I did some TV commercials as well.
Oh, now did you do it just for Pakistani, or are you beginning to broaden your field of interest?
I tried a long time ago to broaden that, but it was not successful at that point. And for that reason, I went back to my paintings, and now I'm doing a couple of things at the same time. And for that reason, I'm not marketing myself in that area, but more keeping my work within my own specialty, and not like extending too much where their chances are a little slim.
Wow. And You told me that you're working on a documentary now. Can you tell me about it?
Right.
Your
Uh,
documentary.
the painting series I'm working on is about uh, the invaders who came to South Asia, the Indus Valley, from Genghis Khan until we see the evacuation of American troops. And I'm discussing all those periods in my paintings. While I was doing that, then I realized the medium I chose is has some limitations. It's good for art, but if I want to reach a little broader scale, I need to do some multimedia. So for that reason, I'm doing a documentary on my work, which I'm doing in my paintings.
So are you using your own paintings to make the documentary?
That's part of that, but more is what's the reason why, what's the philosophy and the reason behind all this painting series is. And when you paint on two-dimensional surface, you have limited characters. And sometimes story is so vast, if you uh, combine pictures and sound and end up as a video or a film, it gives way more depth and way more easy to understand. So that was my reason I wanted to include that. It will be part of my exhibition as well.
And how many paintings are you going to have involved in your exhibition?
There will be 20 paintings.
And they're going to be very large from what you
Yes, they all are like 8 by 5 feet, the same size.
have you finished any of them yet, or are you?
Yes, I am halfway done, and I have concept finished of all of them. All 20 concepts are done, and paintings about, I guess, 10, 11 are done.
Wow, so you're pretty much on your way to getting it done. And what kind of music are you using for this?
What kind of medium?
You said you were doing any working with music too. Will you have
Right, right,
music in this documentary?
right. There's a lot of sorrow and suffering during that era when invaders came and they imposed their governments. Sometimes it went smooth and sometimes it did not. For some people it worked, but most for majority it did not work. And when you paint suffering, it's has a little limitation. And through documentary, I want to include through the music and the voices, I want to include that dimension so people can feel in a way it happened.
Are you going to create your own music, or will you have someone else create music?
I'm going to involve some musicians, some over here, and some are back in Pakistan. I'm collaborating with those people, those musicians, to make a music for the documentary.
Wow. How long do you think it will be until you get it done?
I'm giving myself like a year and a half, and hopefully it will be done. But if it might take 2 years from now, but hopefully not more than that.
Now, are you going to enter it in any of the film festivals or?
I am going to exhibit the whole thing, paintings and the documentary projection on the same hall. And there will be some live performance in front of the paintings as well. The people I used as a model. And so it will be more like a multimedia presentation or multimedia exhibition, which I'm planning to do first in DC, in some museum and like Embassy of Pakistan and Embassy of India. And then I will take it to Pakistan and India. And then after that, there are some European countries, especially England, which was involved in occupation in our region. So then I will take my exhibition over there as well.
And how many years will this exhibition span? Will it be from the, from 1900 to 1970? Just an example.
Right. It started with Genghis Khan. You must be familiar with him. He was an warrior from north side of Indus Valley, the China region. The story started with that, and then there were invasion from the west. They were Mughals and Changezis and Ghaznavis, and then Russia came. And before Russia, it was Middle East invaded Indus Valley as well. And later on, English people came through East India Company. Then Russia came, and then America got involved. And now they left the region, but during all those periods, all those invaders who came to in our region, either they settled over there or they left behind a lot of other people. And they brought so much change in our region. Our economy, our way of thinking, our psychology changed over the period of time. What we are right now is not exactly, maybe we are the people we started with. The invasion which happened over and over again, it totally changed our region and our psychology as well. So I'm trying to portray that.
Now, were there any moments? It sounds like it was a very painful time. I really don't know much about it. But were there any moments of joy also during this time?
Well, not exactly. This is quite a sad history. And most topics, they are very serious and very thought-provoking. And I wish I can include something joyful, but so far it is quite serious subject.
And you've been working on this since when?
I started like 3 or 4 years ago. First, I start the concept, then I did the research for each paintings I was going to do. And then I worked on the theme, how I convert that historical event into a picture. And then I use a lot of symbolism, a lot of like indirect way of things to communicate, which can be more effective rather than just telling the story, which most people know very in a literal way.
Wow. That sounds extremely interesting. And I look forward to seeing more of it. How many, you said there's only going to be 20 paintings in it?
And that's right.
Why did you decide on 20?
Yeah, that's a good question. The 20 was close to when I narrowed down the topics which should have in one painting. They were a little bit more than that, but I don't want to have so long or so many paintings, which can be problem for me to carry from one place to another. And especially if I'm going to transport from one country to another, that will be also a point I was considering.
That sounds great. Now, you also do something that's very unusual. You have an animal sanctuary. What made you decide to do that?
Well, we, my wife and I, we were rescuing animals for a while, but just for when we decided to have a cat. So we rescued a cat. Then when we went over there, and their policy was not having just one cat, we have to adopt two. So we adopted two cats. It was a good decision because they were keeping each other company. And from there, whenever when we moved from one apartment to a little bigger space, then we rescued a couple of more. And lately, when we moved from a city to a little suburban area, we have quite a bit land over here. And those days, there was a election when Trump got elected, and things were quite bleak. And
Can't talk about that.
yeah, so we wanted to do something which can give life meaning, and there was nothing else. And then we thought this is the least thing which is in our control, and we can do that. And that was the point when we started rescuing more animals. And since then, it's been, I guess, about 3-4 years since we started more like in an organized way.
And what kind of animals you have?
We have cats, we have dog, and we have chickens. And the interesting thing is, we started initially with the chicken just when we quit eating meat. We went vegetarian, and we thought for protein we should have some chickens. But then there was some incident in Washington, D.C. They found some chicken on the road. And when they took that to the shelter, and shelter does not equipped with the to take care of chickens. because if they always just slaughter them and eat. And somebody from the shelter contacted us, and since then we are rescuing chicken as well.
Do you have any cows or horses or?
Not yet. We are going a little slow because right now it's my wife and I who are taking care of all the animals. But we also have our jobs. So whatever the spare time we have, so we take care of I believe 23 chickens and a dog.
So, and you started this just 4 or 5 years ago, or?
Right. Yeah.
Now, do you have a farm or do you have just a big house with a lot of land?
We have moderately a little bigger house, but we have like 5 acres land, and we have one outside barn for the chickens. But cats, they are staying. We dedicated now almost 2 rooms for cats.
Wow. And how many cats do you have at this point?
We have 11 cats.
11 cats.
Right.
Are they all outdoor cats?
The cats who are permanent resident, they go out. But there are some kittens. We are fostering them. They are totally indoor because they are new to the house, and we don't want to lose them or either any other incident or predator, because we used to have a fox, and we also have eagles which try to attack time to time, but our dog is quite efficient, and he knows how to take care of all the other animals, how to protect them.
What kind of dog?
He's English Shepherd.
Oh, they're rather big, are they not?
Yeah, he is a little bigger side, a little medium or big side, yeah.
And how many chickens?
Chicken, we have like 22 or 23 chickens.
Now, are you eating the eggs or getting the eggs so you can give them to like my organic market or wherever?
No, I used to be vegan, and then I went vegetarian for a while, but again I'm vegan now. So I don't eat eggs at all. But my wife, she does eat. But we always have little spare eggs, so we share with our relatives, with our friends, whoever. Sometime the delivery guy came yesterday, I gave him a dozen. And then when he came back, he would say, "Oh, these are totally different type of eggs."
Wonderful. Do you have any words that you would like to end with or leave our viewers thinking about?
That's very tough question, but I believe I'm 50 now, and I learned that as a person, you cannot do like some great things. You always planned when you are young, okay, I will grow up and I was going to conquer the world, or that kind of mentality. It might happen for just few fraction of people, but generally it does not happen. And we should do whatever in our own hands, whether it's very small, but we should contribute something positive to the society.
And what do you want to, what is your contribution?
My contribution, I don't think so. I contributed so much, but I just try to do as little or as much as I can to save animals and to be nice with the people, whether they have nothing to do with me or they are totally strange or I'm not going to get any benefit for them. Just showing humanity for the humanity's sake is, I guess, is the ideal thing if you can do for someone.
Okay. I want to thank you for speaking with us, with me. And I want to thank the viewers, whether they're watching now or they're watching later, for watching this interview. And it was very nice speaking with you. I hope you enjoyed it.
I thoroughly enjoyed that, and thank you for and thank you much more for inviting me.
I am so glad I did. You didn't want to do it, so I was really concerned. But thank you very much. And we're going to end this. I want to remind everyone that this show, like all of my shows, is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace, one conversation at a time. And can we wave goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.